Imagine a world where the plants around us hold the keys to predicting the weather. For centuries, people have believed that nature, in all its wisdom, can forecast rain, storms, or changes in temperature. Today, we'll dive deep into the fascinating science of how plants can sense the environment and, in some cases, predict the weather. Let's uncover how plants are nature's unsung meteorologists. Plants are often seen as passive observers of their environment, but the reality is much more complex. They are constantly in tune with their surroundings, picking up on minute shifts in temperature, humidity, light, and even atmospheric pressure. This makes them surprisingly accurate early warning systems for weather changes, but how do they do it? Through sophisticated mechanisms built into their biology, plants are able to react to weather changes long before we notice. They don't just react, they predict, adapt, and survive based on the clues nature gives them. Let's break it down. Plants can give us subtle clues about impending weather events, and these clues are often visible in their behavior. For example, many plants will close their flowers when rain is approaching. A classic example is the morning glory flower, which opens in the early morning but shuts up tightly when a storm is near. This behavior isn't just a coincidence. The morning glory and similar species like the poppy are sensitive to changes in light and air pressure. When atmospheric pressure drops, which often happens before a storm, the plant's flowers respond by closing to conserve energy. Another well-known example is how many plants, such as sunflowers and beans, react to the heat. When temperatures rise or drought conditions set in, they will often close their leaves or slow down their growth rate to conserve water. This kind of behavior acts as an early indicator that the environment is becoming more stressful, often signaling a heat wave or dry spell. So how do plants know that a storm is coming or that temperatures are about to shift? The answer lies in their physiology, specifically in their ability to sense atmospheric pressure, humidity, light, and temperature. It all starts with tiny structures called stomatophores on plant leaves that allow gases to enter and exit. Stomata are essential for plants to regulate their internal conditions. When atmospheric pressure drops before a storm, the stomata close to preserve moisture and prevent excess water loss. This is a simple yet effective response to changing weather conditions. But it's not just about stomata. Plants use hormones to communicate within their tissues and adapt to environmental stress. Auxins, for example, are responsible for directing growth in response to light, while ethylene helps plants respond to environmental stress, such as high humidity or low temperatures. When there's a sudden increase in humidity, plants will often produce more ethylene, which can cause them to accelerate their blooming or ripening processes. On the other hand, if the temperature increases too quickly, plants might trigger a response in their gibberellins to slow down their growth in order to conserve resources. For centuries, humans have observed plants and used their behavior to predict the weather. Many traditional farming communities have long used plant-based science as a natural barometer. Native American farmers, for example, would look at the leaves of the elm tree when they turned a certain shade of yellow. It was believed that rain was coming soon. Similarly, old weather proverbs like "when the robin sings," "rain is near" or "the crow flies low," expect snow have been passed down for generations. These pieces of wisdom were based on observations of nature, particularly plants and animals, and they have been proven to have some merit, as certain species of birds and plants are more active in specific weather conditions. Today, modern science has confirmed many of these ancient beliefs. For example, a study conducted by plant physiologists at the University of California found that black-eyed Susans, a common wildflower, close their petals before an impending rainfall making them a reliable predictor of moisture. This ability is due to their sensitivity to atmospheric pressure changes, which indicate rain. In the modern world, we're beginning to harness these plant-based weather predictors in new ways. In sustainable agriculture, for example, farmers can use plant behavior as an early warning system to make decisions about irrigation, pest control, and crop management, rather than relying on expensive equipment or complex weather models. Farmers can observe the changes in plants to predict when irrigation might be needed or when temperatures might drop to a point where frost protection is necessary. By doing so, they not only reduce waste but also promote better yields and healthier crops. Researchers are also exploring the potential for integrating plant behavior with artificial intelligence and big data to create more efficient agricultural systems. Imagine a future where data from plants is fed into weather models, improving both short-term and long-term weather predictions. Plants have been reading the weather for millions of years long before humans even understood the science behind it. As we move forward in the age of technology and climate change, there's an incredible opportunity to respect and learn from nature's wisdom. By understanding how plants predict weather, we can not only improve agriculture, but also contribute to a more sustainable and connected world. Next time you walk through a garden or a forest, take a moment to observe. You might just notice something that can help predict tomorrow's weather. Because, after all, nature has its own way of giving us the forecast. We just need to pay attention.